All right, this is your only warning. Don't complain or anything. The following podcast contains adult language, like they're going to talk about the taxes or something. I don't know. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
Have I done the drain cleaner?
I'm sorry.
Then no. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Have you?
On the podcast.
Are you on it now? Are you on Drain Cleaner now?
Welcome to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast, the only podcast to combine the subjects of gaming, tech, media, and puppets for no easily explainable reason. It is March 13th, 2026. You are the internet. I am Kevin Blades. My pronouns are he, him, and this is episode 5 of season 4 of Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Joining me as my co-host, his pronouns are he, him. It's Andrew, aka Bad Phantom.
For the record, we've been living in the future since 2010.
Oh,
Really? I mean, when I was young, the movie 2010, the year we made contact, came out.
Okay.
Which was, of course, the sequel to Arthur C. Clarke's infamous, brilliant 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Yes.
which itself came out in the 60s. And then the 2010, the year we made
the
contact,
year
came
I
out,
was born, in fact.
I'm going to say 85, 86?
Something like that. I did actually see it in the theaters.
So I've always kind of left that as my the future date.
Really?
Kind of, because it was close enough that you could envision it.
Right.
But it was far enough away that it was the future.
Yeah.
I mean, Blade Runner. I mean, even.
I mean, here we go with the old man talk immediately. Like when I was a kid, the year 2000 was the future.
No, it's fair. It was a cool number, but it never felt that far away. It was still, it was far, but it wasn't far.
It did to me, but
And so 2010 was like, yeah, that's gonna be the future, and we blew the fuck past that.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Are we on spaceships heading to fucking Jupiter? Now, of course, had we discovered monoliths on the moon, I think we would have probably accelerated the space.
Didn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying publicly, if we had known, if it were more aware that we found shit on the moon that said, oh, by the way, we have proof that there is life out there, I think we would have been a little more accelerated, and we would have long-ass spaceships going to Jupiter.
And the only thing that has ever motivated humanity is beating the other guy. It has to be a war. It has to be military engagement.
Definitely part of it, or fear of other.
Yeah.
And what greater other than that? Let me quickly get into the show that I finally got around to watching this last week. Three Body Problem.
Okay.
Netflix. Are you aware of it?
I have heard the name.
Yeah, it's based on a Chinese novel.
All right.
Which was a series of novels, I think. It's a weird production because the Chinese produced a full series, and it's only available on YouTube. Like, you can watch the entire show on YouTube, but it never got any real notice. People, despite the fact that it was right there, and it's a shitload of episodes. It's not a short series. Anyway, and then Netflix produced a version of it, based on the same material, with a Netflix budget, and it was well received, but it was run by the dipshits who ruined Game of Thrones. The guys who were held they were on a pedestal for a very long time with Game of Thrones, until they got past the point where George Martin,
I'm trying to remember their name.
Benioff and Wells.
Benioff and Wells. I for some reason I got them mixed. Those are either the guys, or those are like two venture capitalists.
D&D, which sucks that their names are D&D. But anyway, they were on a pedestal because of how great Game of Thrones is going, until they got past the point where Martin had written shit, and then they went, Oh no.
We have to think of something.
Yeah. And it was
new.
okay for a little while, and then it all fell apart. Anyway, they made Three Body Problem after Game of Thrones, and it's good. It's a.
So this was instead of the Civil War. What if slavery never ended, or whatever it was that they were going to do?
Holy shit! Was that going to be a disaster?
Actually, slavery was good or something?
No. It wasn't going to be quite like that, but that would have been.
No. It was what if the Confederates won? That was the
right.
thing.
Holy shit, guys!
Spoilers. They did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And yeah, that was a bad idea, and thankfully that didn't happen. Anyway, they made Three Body Problem.
Didn't it?
It's 8 episodes. Season 2 is, I think they've already shot it, and it's coming out this year.
All right.
And then they've already said that season 3 will be the end of it. But then they also said that season 2 is only going to be 6 episodes. Anyway, the show is good, but
I like the question mark at the end.
Yeah. I mean, it has some very big ideas, and then they just kind of go, "Let's just step back from that." They do, because it's frustrating because the best material is personal. Like the moments we love are the character beats, the interactions between characters, and but when you've got these insane moments where aliens reveal themselves to the entire planet with incredible actions that are unquestionably otherworldly, and then the next episode just kind of goes and resets that.
So which
doesn't reset it, but it basically just kind of moves forward. It's a little weird. And then the next couple of episodes are very character focused. And I'm like, bro, you got 8 episodes for this shit. Like back in the day when we had 24 episodes for a season, you had a lot more room to breathe character beats. But you're given 2 episodes to dying characters. Like, okay. Anyway, it's good. It's worth watching. It's engaging science fiction. One of the main story elements is that a single person has direct contact with the aliens, and the aliens basically say, hey, look, here's the thing, I'm the front man, you don't want this. Like, they don't know I'm saying this, but basically, if you send another message, we will come to your planet, and you're probably not going to like the results. And
I like the rebel alien with a conscience.
Well, it's a little interesting, and I'm curious to see if it plays out narratively, but I don't think it will. And the woman in charge, who's in China, and is, despite the fact that they're under, you would think they're under constant observation, she is able to reply completely independently. So on behalf of the planet Earth, based on how fucked everything is, and this first message happens in the 50s, I think.
Right.
She basically says, "Nah, bring it, come down. we are gonna fuck ourselves. You need to come correct this.
Come for me, bitch."
Yeah. Anyway, it plays out in an interesting fashion, and it's a show of ideas, and they don't follow through on a lot of it just because they don't have a lot of time. I mean, it's 8 1-hour episodes, they're not even an hour. So anyway, I'm almost curious to watch the Chinese version, just to see, because one of the big SFX sequences plays out incredibly differently on the Netflix version. It's much gorier and over the top.
Because you got real serious restrictions what we can and cannot do on Chinese television.
Absolutely, and I think that was part of it. But there were some very interesting choices made in that respect. But it came out in 24, so it's not that old. It's still pretty fresh. But of course, it almost never will come up in your recommendations if you're still a Netflix subscriber, if you haven't already watched it. But if you're a regular sci-fi watcher, then it probably pops up occasionally on you missed this, you should probably watch it.
I don't even know what Netflix looks like these days. Yeah. It's been so long since I've looked at it. I have no clue.
But if you're paying for it, it's worth firing up, and just, because it's good to dig into some sci-fi that asks the questions. And I don't know how many interesting responses we're going to get out of it, but it's still worth watching, despite the fact that it's run by Benioff and Wells. Other than that, I also I had 2 Senpai Noticed Me moments in the last 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks ago, Duncan Jones.
Oh yes,
the great filmmaker,
and son of David, and son of noted musician.
Yeah, absolutely. I've interacted with him before. He had posted 2 weeks ago, "Can't believe it's nearly December." Yeah, so. He had also made a reference to Mariah Carey before
Dad.
that, and at first I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I remembered he has a new film, Rogue Trooper, based on the 2000 AD comic, the side piece to Judge Dredd, basically the same shingle that makes Judge Dredd.
Sure,
he's this is no secret that he's made a fully animated Rogue Trooper film,
All right.
which has already played. They've showed it as a test screening in the UK because that's their core audience for it. So I haven't even heard anything about that screening, but so it's effectively done, but he hasn't talked about who's got the rights to it and when it's going to come out. So I thought after a couple of these December references that holy shit, he's given us little nuggets to tell us that it's coming in December. So I replied, Duncan, are you trying to tell us something? Okay, let me try this again. Duncan, are you being roguish and seeing if we can all be troopers for about 9 months? And he replied, haha, I'm not that clever. So I said, all right, fine, keep your secrets. And they replied with Gandalf saying, I'm trying to help you. So that was delightful to have an actual interaction with Duncan Jones. Duncan's so great. And then I had an interaction with our patron saint. Ed said, pressing triangle to swap from Diet Coke to coffee. And I said, don't forget to press X for Jason, which is a reference to the meme from the game Heavy Rain. And he replied, Jason. So that was delightful. So anyway, yeah, 2 Senpai Noticed Me references.
Did I ever talk about my interaction with Ed?
I don't think you have.
I have. It was on the subreddit. No, I don't think I've ever talked about this.
Okay.
It was after one of the CES coverages things, and I just posted a response to the subreddit. I can't even remember what the hell the initial conversation was now, but we were talking about mental health basically.
Oh wow!
And one of the things, because they got into it, they really got into it on the CES coverage, like in a very personal way, and I really appreciated that. That's why I recommended everybody go listen to that shit. But one of the things we started talking about was like, I don't even remember how we got on this subject, like in the thread conversation, but I was talking about how part of my mental health struggles are related to weight and how every day seems like a struggle and every day feels like I'm at war. And Ed replied with, okay, I get that. I totally understand that. But have you considered the fact that if you feel like every day is a battle, maybe you are at war, and approach it like you are in a war. So who's the enemy? What are they trying to do to you? And I'm like, holy fuck. That's
I'm sorry, am I in therapy? What the fuck, Ed?
It was really good. It was like
was that on Blue Sky?
No, it was on the subreddit.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in the subreddit. I'll dig it up at some point.
No, that's interesting.
I'm like, shit, that's
great.
Good shit, man.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so I got genuine therapy from Ed Zitch.
That's remarkable. That's great. I'm glad he's so involved in his.
He's hands on with the subreddit. He's he's in there. He's the guy who runs it. Like that's cool.
He's a real deal.
Yeah. So speaking of Ed Zitch, we'll try and make some kind of weird transition here. Sloppelganger is pretty good.
Oh my god, I was so happy.
Did you make that up or did you see that?
I linked to it. It came up in conversation. So the story is around Grammarly. Mm-hmm. Grammarly is a poison that has been festered on us for years now. Many ads on YouTube. Now, a side note: I pay for premium so I can avoid all this shit.
I block ads, so I don't.
That's
I
smart.
also
That's
don't
very
see that
smart.
shit.
I should probably just start doing that.
I can tell you how to do that.
Pie hole that shit. I know it works. Anyway, so Grammarly has been one of the more prevalent advertisers on YouTube, promising that they can make your writing better. Generally centered around your emails.
I'm sure.
So they got stupid. I mean, again, these are dumb people.
We're getting stupider.
Jesus.
By the minute.
So the story...
It's almost like something's making them stupider.
The story this week is that Grammarly started offering coaching on your writing. And they would attribute the coaching to actual writers. Stephen King and journalists and dead journalists. And I don't know how this came out so quickly, but basically your text would just appear, and then it would say, this is, here's a suggestion from Stephen King about how to focus your shit. And the post that was made today was from a writer who himself was one of these referenced writers, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so it's just so this other writer, I'm going to open it here so I can refer to it. Ingrid Burrington, a little offended. Grammarly didn't make a sloppelganger of me.
Sloppelganger is good.
Sloppelganger. I mean, holy fuck. So yeah, so now that's taking off and it's great. So
basically, they were making AI agents.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Straight up agents
like,
of existing litigious people
and dead people.
Yeah, that was I mean, it's, again, like so many other things, when we talk about AI, it's bad enough. Because the Lord knows how often we have to say it's bad enough when you're talking about this shit. But yeah, they were using the writers who've recently passed away and saying or using their voice to tell you how to adjust your writing to make it better.
I really want. Can I please get some writing advice from Terry Pratchett, please? Who passed 11 years? 11 years ago?
I don't want to do the math.
It was something. This week was the anniversary of his death.
And I mean, but the fact that this is just the tech bro mindset writ large, you know, and
there's no bottom.
It comes back to
absolutely no bottom.
Move fast and break things, and that, you know, where that was adorable 10 years ago or 15 years ago when they started using that term, it basically also means do whatever the fuck you want and beg forgiveness afterwards.
My observation on that philosophy has always been that's what fucking 2-year-olds do.
Absolutely.
There is no merit in move fast and break things. It is stupid.
Yeah.
It is the most juvenile bullshit I can think of.
Because it also relieves you of any responsibility for the shit that you broke.
It's like, smash this state. But you were sitting on this state. You're cutting off the anyway.
And it's brutal, and it just keeps happening over and over again. And the fact that these fucking morons thought this is great, and we don't need to get permission from these people. So what is their response when everybody went, "Are you fucking serious? You can't use my name to promote your garbage business. What the fuck?" And so what do? Oh, if you don't like that we're using your name,
you can
please
opt out.
email us to opt out. Are you fucking high?
That is the position of every company right now is we're going to opt you in automatically, but you have to opt out. And it's the guy at the bar going, "Look, I'm going to put this roofie in your drink.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you tell me not to, I won't."
Yeah, I'll take it out. You know what? I'll buy you a new drink if you don't want me to roofie you. So, and this is their mindset, because with Daddy Trump in charge, they know that the worst that's going to happen is a slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
they're not going to. They need all of these companies need to be sued into oblivion.
This is what,
not $20 million. Oh no, that's bad. You can't do that.
It's what Steve at Gamers Nexus keeps coming back to. Yeah. Fines are just the price of doing business.
Yeah,
that is.
I mean, the other thing that happened this week was the fucking Live Nation bullshit, where Live Nation and Ticketmaster were in front of the DOJ, and they had the ability to finally say, "You're done. You can't own these fucking. You can't be one company anymore. This is bullshit." And instead, they went, "We're gonna fine you $200 million, which is a lot of money for a company that made $20 billion last year.
Yeah.
And also you have to give up 12 of your venues." And they went, "Oh no.
Smithers, my wallet's in my front pocket."
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, because this is what generally happens. Like, no. These companies need to be sued into oblivion, cannot function anymore.
They need to be broken up and destroyed.
Right, absolutely. All of these AI companies who have created everything they have on stolen material, they don't even question it anymore. They're like, yeah, but we're huge now, and we're just going to pay you for it. Like, no, you need to be punished.
The problem is now literally the entire economy is founded on it.
Right.
Therefore, if they fail, the economy fails.
Exactly.
Therefore,
and that's what they wanted. They knew that if they could push this fast enough, they could make themselves unkillable without taking out the economy with them. Guess what, bitch? It's time for the economy to die.
Yeah,
because there's no reason for you to continue to exist. You need to be held accountable for getting us to this position, and everybody who gave you money needs to be held accountable. And if that means all the money goes away, bye-bye. fuck it. You don't. None of you deserve to exist anyway.
A reckoning will happen at some point.
Absolutely.
I just don't know when.
Well, we're very close, and as our patron Saint Ed has been mentioning this week, with the fun and games in the Middle East right now, the price of oil is gonna cause a very quick knock on for a lot of this shit, and that they didn't factor in because they're stupid.
The kind of inflection point is going to happen when it always happens, because historical precedent, as we've talked about many times before, and it's going to happen when ordinary people are pushed too far.
Right.
That's
price of gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to Carter.
Shit like that is what is going to actually push people.
Price of gas is one
when
thing.
you can't live your life, when you can't, pay the rent and it just exist, that's when the inflection point happens.
But what's really going to fuck them is that all of these data centers that they're building run on LNG. And the price of LNG is about to go through the fucking roof because so much of it comes out of Dubai. And as a result, that's going to absolutely annihilate they're already paying out the ass for all of this stuff, and they have to borrow to stay alive.
Yeah, well, but that's the whole milieu of capitalism is about like the instant payoff now. The long term doesn't matter, but that's literally the existence of like cutting off the branch you're sitting on. Right?
But this whole thing could spark the final straw. Please spark the final straw. The final straw that has a flame that pops the balloon. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. But
it's gonna be a camel with an unhappy back.
Camel's on fire. The straw is on fire. Camel's in a bubble. The bubble's full of hydrogen.
The bubble camel.
The flaming straw is gonna pop the bubble, and it just the hydrogen in the bubble is gonna ignite and take everybody with it. Anyway, right. Coping mechanism. Let's talk about how we get through the week.
The flaming camel bubble has. Oh Lord! How do I go on? How do we pivot from this?
Just how do we cope with all the inevitable murder coming?
I can, and this is genuinely good. So it's not necessarily the panacea. Mm-hmm. It's not the the penicillin for our current ills, but. Now on to coping mechanism, where we talk about this stuff that has either distracted, inspired, or in other ways given us happiness in the past 2 weeks. I will find a way to crowbar Warframe into every section of this podcast.
Yep.
And I have done it now with coping mechanism because there is a YouTube channel called Dad Gamer Dad. I think I should have looked this up
Probably
ahead of time.
Idea.
That sounds like it's right. I have linked to the video in the show notes. You'll see it there. Many years ago, there was a documentary. I think it was a two-parter actually, and it was one of the first big documentaries that Danny O'Dwyer's NoClip did about Digital Extremes, the makers of a little video game called Warframe. And that was excellent, but it was also of a time and place. And there's a new documentary that is shorter, more concise. It's just under an hour long. So it's, you can sit down and watch it in a single sitting. And boy, is it good. It is called You Will Fail, The Story of Digital Extremes. And let me tell you, if you need a reason, like, first of all, it's very well done. It's very well presented. The narrator, who also does other documentaries on like video game history and other developers and the stories of other games and other companies that have gone in interesting directions. That's what they do on their channel. That's their thing. And this time, it was the time to do Digital Extremes. And because it's brand new, it's up to date, right? So it's all the stuff that has happened. And I don't think when Danny did the NoClip documentary that Rebecca Ford had taken over Warframe yet. Mm-hmm. I know she was high up, she was on the rise, but I'll have to go back and watch it, but I don't think she was like the director of the game yet, which she is now. So she is obviously now, and this now incorporates that and all of the stuff that has happened since the No Clip documentary, like Soul Frame and all that kind of stuff. But it is the entire history of Digital Extremes and their bizarre and remarkable history, and frankly, deeply inspiring, because they were at a point literally where James Schmaltz, who started Digital Extremes, literally a kid sitting in his bedroom teaching himself coding, was, it's one of those stories, right? I had to sit down and say to everybody, look, we've got 12 months of money left. We need to have a hit or something that will sustain the company in the next 12 months, or the lights go out. And at that point, they had like 250 people at the company. Families with mortgages and careers and all that kind of thing. So this was their Hail Mary. And I won't spoil it because it's really good. You really should go and watch it. Even if you're not interested in Warframe. And I want to make that point. If you don't give a shit about Warframe, it is still a deeply inspiring and wonderful story about having a vision, staying true to that vision. Everybody's telling you, no, this is not going to work. And you having one last, it's a fucking fairy tale. It's like one last chance to do the thing. And they did the thing. And now look where we are, right? It's remarkable. It's
always
deeply
interesting
inspiring.
when a moment like that it's the end. If it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then it works.
And then it worked. So that's the thing. Now, it also is really interesting in that it provides context, right? Around that moment. Because there's a really easy narrative that, stay true, believe in yourself. The whole Disney vision of reality, right? It's like, if you only believe, then you will succeed. There were other factors as well. And one of the things I found really interesting, and now we will talk about this later, but we're heading up to the, in this week is the 13th anniversary of Warframe. And Rebecca Ford posted this week about how, like, when we launched Warframe, there was like 500 other games launched that year on Steam.
Sure.
Now there's like 100,000 other games on Steam. Things are different now. You cannot compare what happened to Warframe then to what happens to other live service games.
It had to come out then too.
Yeah.
Like for it to.
Well, the thing that I hadn't realized, and it's weird because I was literally right there when it was all going down. I mean, if you look at my Warframe account, it's 2013, the year Warframe launched.
That's crazy.
Like, and I just didn't play it for years and years and years.
No, I think I was in the same boat. I think I grabbed it and went,
yeah, there's something there, but it's just,
It didn't grab me, or I was distracted by other things. And
exactly.
I didn't get into it.
But one of the things that really gave Warframe the big boost was the PS4 launch.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough. And I hadn't really considered this because I didn't have a PS4 at launch. But the PS4 launched, and they were one of the first free-to-play games on a console in general, and they were right there on the store page.
No barrier to entry.
Of the PS4. Exactly. So you got your brand new PS4.
You got a game that looks great on it.
You didn't have anything to play. You could download this and play it, and it was good. So that was one of the things that really helped them get a jump start.
Yeah.
And I hadn't realized that at all. So there's a whole lot of things that, although I knew part of the history of Digital Extremes.
I can't imagine what that costs to be a free-to-play game on the PlayStation Store. I mean, obviously that's not free for Digital Extremes.
Well, this is what the whole documentary talks about, is the fact that, like, because they had no idea how this was going to land, and when they launched the Founders Program and that whole thing, and it's like, and they actually got a little bit of money when they first kind of, people were betting on this game before it was done, and that's when they realized, look, we need to, like, double down on this shit. People believe in us. We have to, see that through and make their trust in us pay off. And they have done that, and they have done that ever since.
Yeah.
And that's remarkable. So it was, I watched it twice all the way through now. I didn't even mean to the second time. I just sat down. I just hit play because I was looking for like a reference point for this podcast, and it's so engaging. I just left it on and watched the whole damn thing for the second time. So please, again, if you're not interested in Warframe, it doesn't matter. This is a deeply wonderful and inspiring and well-told story. So by all means, go check out Dad Gamer Dad, I believe, is the title of the channel. You will fail the history of digital extremes and all the rest of their videos as well. So I've linked to that in the show notes. So that's my coping mechanism for this week.
Excellent.
Andrew?
I probably mentioned Post 10 before. It's silly. I don't even know.
Not ringing a bell.
I'm not sure what the history of his name is, but he's from Maine. He went viral years ago for his videos where he was unblocking storm drains in the city. So, like, you know, untended, the city wouldn't clear them properly.
Sure.
Water would build up, and he would note that, and then go and then clear it out with a rake or whatever, and get that beautiful visual of the swirl. When you would, there would be a crap load of water built up, and it would just drain away.
It's the same kind of ADHD satisfaction as Power Wash.
Yes,
stuff.
it's very simple. No, it's in
like,
that. There's a whole subcategory for it, and it definitely falls into that. And I'll mention other ones as well. So, but I'm going to say he's on the spectrum.
I mean,
I don't think there's any question that he's on the spectrum.
Really, honestly, anybody, I promise you, everybody listening to this podcast right now is on the spectrum.
He's based out of rural Maine, but he's got resources, and I don't think it's just the YouTube channel, but he works for logging companies. I believe what his job is to identify in the logging areas where there is beaver dams are built up, where there's going to be overflow, and so that they can address it. And then he said, well, why don't I just address it? So if it's a reasonable size, so he'll go into the woods, and he mostly shoots. He's on camera occasionally, but he's mostly behind the camera when he's shooting these things. And he will go into detail in the area. So he's in extremely rural areas, just the woods, basically, back roads, almost no traffic most of the time. And he'll talk about, he's fascinated by beavers, obviously. Beavers are the focus of his life, and he knows beaver behavior, and he respects beavers. He loves the beavers, but they will identify when they have to be relocated for the purposes of the logging industry. Mm-hmm. So they don't murder them, but he knows how they build. He knows what they look for, and it's kind of fascinating hearing him talk about it, because he is an expert, but based on actual experience as opposed to just book learning. So, and then he will set up his second camera at the other end of a beaver dam on because it'll be on a road, and there'll be a drainage ditch basically, or a culvert. And he will set up a camera at the other end, and he will come to the blocked area, and then take it out. And they can be very long videos, because he needs an editor, but also he likes just putting the raw footage up there as well.
Sure, yeah.
So sometimes they're like an hour long or more if he shows the whole process. But it's just very soothing to just watch him go by hand and just a rake and just start moving the debris out of the way, and then you get to see the effect on the other end, and then of course the real goal is to get the big moment when he can just completely dislodge it, and it causes the gush out of the other end.
Yep.
And then you get the swirl, the whirlpool as it drains. But he has really expanded. He's been doing this for years, and he doesn't just stay in his area. He comes up to Canada a lot. And again, I don't know if I feel like he's doing a lot of this stuff on his own. I don't think he's getting paid by the logging companies everywhere he goes. He might be. He's doesn't talk a lot about that, but just recently he took his girlfriend up to Churchill because he wanted to see the Northern Lights and be in the coldest area possible. And they took the train. It was kind of a little travelogue thing. I haven't watched the whole video, but it's nice that he's expanding his horizons, and he got some lovely aurora footage, aurora borealis, from the train as well as in Churchill.
Is there another aurora?
No, I think the southern.
Oh, you know what? You're right. There probably is.
Aurora borealis and aurora.
Whatever the other one is.
the northern lights,
non-famous, the underground aurora.
Yeah. The northern lights, I think, are a little more
Counterculture
intense than the
aurora.
southern lights. But
I like the idea of the counterculture aurora now.
Yeah. So
Because we got our own aurora.
it's been very interesting how he has continued to be a presence, and he has a very strong following. He also does other videos where he just goes into abandoned areas. He went into an abandoned hospital somewhere, but pretty much all in North America. I can't remember. I think he's done some international stuff, but generally he just still focuses on the beaver dams, and it's just a very it's good viewing. The only problem is he'll be digging around these beaver dams, which there's a lot of shit, basically, because the beavers use whatever they can.
Yeah, you like beaver shit?
And he ain't using gloves.
Oh,
it's just like, bro,
dude,
just wear some gloves when you're doing this.
Trust
please.
me, as a guy who works with dangerous chemicals, use fucking gloves.
So
Dear
he doesn't,
God.
and he's not dead. So I guess there's something to be said for that.
I mean, I'm not dead either, but
Yeah.
I'm also not smart.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so it's still
that's called an accident.
there is another fella based out of Lithuania, Kenneth Slovas, who also has a beaver dam thing.
How do you find this shit?
It's the
Is this
algorithm,
what
man.
the algorithm-
Sometimes the algorithm rewards you,
sends you.
because obviously post 10 videos are going to recommend
Okay, yeah.
Kenneth
yeah.
Slovas because he's very connected. But those are nice too. But that guy's also again on the spectrum. But he sets up a bunch of cameras in his areas. The area is totally different because these are like canals by actual farmlands
Right.
that are meant for diverting water, and beavers just jam it up. But he'll get some massive dams, like 8 feet high and 12 feet across, and he'll work at it for 45 minutes, but he's also curating the spill when it will finally breach the dam. It's very satisfying. It's
Curating the spill, I think
he does.
needs to be the title of this episode.
He also wants it to be as visually spectacular as possible. So it's just kind of interesting watching him whittle away at these massive dams, whereas Post 10 is working on culverts, which it's still satisfying, but it's a very different vibe. But anyway, there's a whole subgenre of this shit on YouTube. But Post 10 and Kenneth Slovas are the front of the best that are doing it. So I'd recommend checking it out.
This is why you come to this podcast, because
Yeah.
who the fuck else would recommend that?
Exactly.
You know?
It did actually come up. Miles Klee, the writer that I love, mentioned Post 10.
All right.
And it was also another senpai noticed me moment because I said, I love his stuff. I just wish he'd wear gloves.
Yeah.
And people replied, yep.
Wear the fucking gloves,
Yeah.
dude. Dear God. I can direct you to some good gloves.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the Puppet Pit.
You have entered an alternate dimension. A dimension of fleece and fur, of foam and industrial adhesives. So I hope you have good ventilation. A signpost up ahead. Watch your step. You have just stumbled into the Puppet Pit.
Welcome to the Puppet Pit, where we talk about the puppet side of Operation Puppet for the last 2 weeks. And there's been stuff.
Hell yeah.
Stuff has been happening. So the first thing we always cover, of course, is the most recent bills. They have been, last week I did 2 smalls. And this week was really interesting. I mean, smalls are good. Smalls are fun. Everybody loves smalls.
They do.
But this week, last month, I should say, when I was making the blue dog, which we have talked about previously, Scribbles is their name, FYI.
Scribbles.
Coming soon to a YouTube near you.
Hell yeah.
When I was prototyping the skull, I looked at one of the first prototypes I did, which was like a smaller scale to what Scribbles ended up being. And I looked at it and I went, this looks like a monkey. And then when I said that in my head, I looked up and I looked to the corner where all of my first storage is, and my eyes landed on some purple fur. And the 2 words entered my head, purple monkey. And I could not dislodge those 2 words.
You know what the third word is?
From dishwasher.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Just making sure.
Everybody knows.
Okay. Just making sure.
So I got into and that day I posted on Mastodon, I should make a purple monkey. And I'm just like, and I have not stopped
thinking about a goddamn purple monkey for a month. This week, guess what I made?
You made a purple monkey.
I made a purple monkey. Purple monkey, turns out it was a good choice.
It was.
So, yeah, this week was the purple monkey. And I kind of had a suspicion that the purple monkey would be popular based on some of the early reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't cleared it with them. They have posted publicly, so I'm sure it would be fine if I identified them, but I won't because they're a member of the Operation Puppet Discord. However, an individual on the Operation Puppet Discord apparently had been stalking the website all day because they knew I was going to post it.
It's like, you're allowed to ask.
I'm like, dude, just if you want something, just talk to me. I could
There's an email address they can contact.
Dude, we've PM'd before. Yeah. It's fine. Anyway,
he just wanted to be polite.
He wasn't sure. He wanted to give some other people a chance, but he's a very nice.
Don't give other people a chance.
He also said to me, "Look, I knew if somebody snapped it up, I could just ask you to make another one."
Right.
It's like, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
True.
So, so yeah, Purple Monkey went real fast. Literally, I posted yesterday that I was going to put it up for sale today. Lots of people went yay. I put it up, and as I was making the social media post with the grid of like, here's the new listing up on Operation it sold. So I couldn't even have a chance to make the social media post.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a very good, because let me tell you, this week I freaking needed it. I'm
glad to hear it.
Up until today, things were going a little desperate. But so somebody had watched the build stream, which FYI, yes, they have in fact continued for the past 2 weeks. Good news. And did I talk? I think last time I talked about how some of the Gamers Tavern people showed up. Yes, okay, good. I did talk about that. I wanted to make sure I talked about that because they're great and it continues to be good. Anyway, so yeah, I somebody had logged in and saw the end of my stream, and one of the things I did on the stream on Thursday, I guess, which was yesterday.
Yes.
Good Lord. It's Friday the 13th. Did
what
we
is
point
time?
that out?
No,
we didn't even
register it.
We didn't even point that out. We keep doing podcasts on Friday the 13th.
Well, it's the second one in a row.
I mean,
time. What is time?
We record on Fridays. The odds are we're probably going to hit every Friday the 13th there is. But anyway. So I had somebody message me going, hey, is that purple monkey going up for sale? And I'm like, yeah. They wanted the purple monkey. They weren't going to get the funds for the purple monkey until next week. And I'll be honest, and I even said this on the live stream, things were pretty desperate up until today. So I was like, okay, here's the thing. Whenever I make a sale, whether it be on Etsy or the direct shop, every payment processor holds it for at least a week. That's just how it is. When you owe them money, they want it right away. When they owe you money, they can take their time. That's, of course, because capitalism, hello. So I was like, well, okay, they weren't going to have the money until like the 26th or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that would fine. I could hold it for you, but here's my problem. My financials this month are really tight. I think the monkey could sell quickly. If I save it for you, I won't get that money until after the 1st. Therefore, that's a problem for me. So I proposed to them that why don't I put the monkey up for sale? If somebody buys it, great. I'll immediately start on a second monkey that I can sell you.
And then they can give notes about if they'd like any alterations to the design.
We will get onto that.
Yeah.
And if they don't buy it, this one's yours. Mm-hmm. And they were like, great, no problem. It sounds okay. And that's win-win, right?
Yeah.
Because like I came up with a situation where everybody's a winner. Take note, capitalists.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's great. It's a I want to say it's a classic design. I don't remember seeing a purple monkey around. But I mean, Grape Ape.
Bonsai Buddies, Grape Ape and Bonsai. There is a tradition.
It's been a minute.
There's kind of like a thing about a purple monkey. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But purple monkeys are good. How could you be sad when there's a purple monkey?
Absolutely.
So that's the whole thing. So anyway, they said, yeah, no problem. Sounds good. And like I said, the minute I put it up for sale, it went. And so I'm immediately starting on a second purple monkey to sell.
It's a good problem to have.
It is, and it has really saved my ass this month. Let me tell you.
Great.
So
You got a second one already lined
I
up?
got a second monkey. This is good. That's what we're doing this week.
Kids, if you're looking for monkeys, now's the
Monkey
time
number
to
2.
ask
Look,
for more monkeys because you can make multiple monkeys at a go.
the monkey has been well received. I'm of course, because capitalism, I'm going, monkeys, make nothing but monkeys, make only
Orange.
monkeys.
Make an orangutan.
This is a problem. Don't oversaturate the market with monkeys. This is a thing I need to avoid. So yeah, hey, if you want a monkey, I can make you a monkey. But
Haven't you always wanted a monkey?
haven't you always wanted a monkey? Look, see, I don't know what it is. This is the purple and the monkey together equals happy. I don't know why, it just is. So there we go. Purple monkey good is what that equates to.
Very good.
Okay, so as I mentioned, yes, the build streams. For the past, unlike the previous 2 weeks, the past 2 weeks, the build streams have continued, and they have been continually well attended. Thank you, everybody. Shout out Indies Keep. Shout out Ghost of Bodefeld. I don't even know if Ghost of Bodefeld listens to the podcast, but they are always, consistently, freakishly, concerningly the first on Owncast every single time I stream. I question if you're real. I almost do. However, thanks to the Gamers Tavern, Owncast has been the most active of all of the streams, all of the platforms that I broadcast to. It's been kind of hilarious and I love it. So yeah, it's been good. Things were kind of tense up until today, and then they suddenly got good. So thanks to the purple monkey, things got good. Okay, next thing on the list that I didn't actually have in the original show notes, but this just came off the 3D printer, and I presented it on the table here, and Andrew's been speculating about what the fuck it is. What the hell is that thing? That slightly weird, it's like a squashed UFO shape.
Little robot.
What is that? It is a little robot. So, one of the things I told you I would cram Warframe into every section of the podcast.
All of them.
Here we go. So, of course, I have TennoCon, and I am motherfucking determined to go to TennoCon this year. I don't care if I have to go in debt to do it. I will do it. I'm going to TennoCon
Yes.
this year. So, of course, I'm the puppet guy. What am I going to do for TennoCon? I have to bring a puppet.
You do. It's a requirement.
So, as we talked about last time, I think,
Yeah.
we talked about me possibly bringing Frankie. Worst comes to worst, but I want to do something special, of course, for TennoCon. There is a character in Warframe, and I'm sure I talked about this last time. I don't even actually remember, but who is in Destiny would be the equivalent of Ghost,
Right.
who is like your little robot buddy. There's a lot more to it than that, of course, because it's Warframe, and so there's layers of stuff. But the TLDR, the elevator pitch is, this is your little robot buddy, and it's Ortis. And so I want to make a version of Ortis that is like, what if Ortis were a Muppet? That's what I want to make.
Okay.
The thing that's in front of you is a 3D model pulled from the game assets that has been turned into a 3D printed object of Ortis's head. That's Ortis's head sitting in front of you at the scale I want to make it. So my plan is, there's a lot more to it than that. That's just the head, FYI. So my plan is one of two things. I want to do like a completely new build, basically. So I could take that and the rest of the print that I'm about to do. It's going to take like a couple of days to print this thing. But I'm gonna take this and make a pattern from it, and then make foam and fabric and make a for real puppet from this. That it's like a Muppet version of Ortis.
Okay.
The other thing I can do is literally just take this 3D printed object, cover it in fabric, make it Muppety, and use that. It will really depend on how much time I have. Now, TennoCon is a couple months away, so I've got some time.
It looks like it could be a pretty effective hand puppet.
The thing is, his head and his body are separate pieces.
Well, yeah.
So he could like, you could puppeteer him like, the South Park Canadians.
It's exactly I'm dead serious. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking of for this, right? So that's
and it's Canadian.
Exactly. I mean, Warframe's Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is such a satisfying sentence.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's nice to say.
Yep. Anyway, so my plan is to make a Muppet version of Ortis to bring to TennoCon. There's his head sitting in front of you. And we'll go from there. I don't know how exactly it's all going to come together, but this is the starting point right here. This is where we're gonna go from. So I have to work on it on the weekends, obviously, because I can't spend work time on the week to do this.
Purple monkeys to make.
I got. There's so many purple monkeys. They're just purple monkeys out the wazoo, which is where purple monkeys come out of.
Yes, out of a wazoo. It's a well-known fact.
Okay, so there we go. That'll kind of do it for the puppet pit.
It's a rich, heady puppet pit.
It really kind of is. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I need an actual break. So we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Pixel Town.
The sky above the port was the color of a YouTube video locked behind 17 unskippable ads. Around the rainy streets, people dodged out-of-control robo-taxis and shot down delivery drones carrying $50 burgers. Here we fight the corporate ecologies and get excited about avoiding our phones. Welcome to the mean streets of Pixel Town.
I almost feel like we need to update the intro to Pixel Town again. But this time it'll just be Frankie screaming about Peter Thiel.
That would be a little on the nose.
Anyway,
I was thinking about $50 burgers. I'm like, could I spend $50 on a burger? Maybe.
I mean, when we order burgers, I mean, because I also get onion rings.
You can find a $50 hamburger in town.
You can get
steakhouse downtown.
You could end up with a bill for two people.
Yeah.
4 burgers, that is $50.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
I'm talking about a straight up $50 hamburger.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's the joke. That if it wouldn't be funny if it wasn't an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Anyway, hi, welcome to Pixel Town, where we talk about tech, gaming, and all things thereunto related, starting slightly Deck Nook adjacent.
Hey, it's a cousin.
It's related.
It's definitely the next iteration.
I guess GDC happened this week. It's been so low key that
it really has.
It's not a lot.
I was gonna put it in the show notes about. I didn't even realize it was happening. They did kind of a little showcase of upcoming titles that I didn't realize was GDC related until you just mentioned that GDC was happening, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is.
Right.
That was part of it. I think Keeley was involved, but he probably wanted to stay the fuck out of it this time for reasons. But
he didn't want to high guard anybody.
Hello. Yeah. So anyway, there's but still this Nook element is
So Valve was there. They talked about, so there's been some news about the specific requirements that people are going to have to meet, or that titles are going to have to meet to be Steam Machine certified.
Right.
But there was a joke in one of the press conferences that one of the Valve representatives offhandedly made a comment about, like, so if you know anybody with line on RAM, we'd like to talk to you. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
He's half joking, but yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No, it's a definite problem. And again, what are all these components made of? Fucking oil.
Mm-hmm.
So the price of oil going up is also going to fuck Valve when they finally.
Oh yeah, I mean
obviously they've already made a bunch of these, but
I don't know it's that
Once
obvious.
you scale it up,
I'm questioning.
well, how do you price it? I mean, everything's so insane right now. Like
Yeah.
I was very close to pulling the trigger on the AYN Thor.
Right.
I mentioned before, and because they announced that they're going to be first, they said they're going to increase the price in April, and then they went, actually, it's going to be the end of this week. So it was like the first week of March. They said, yeah, we're going to have to increase the price like now. And I was gonna let that push me, and I said I'm just not gonna use it enough to justify it. I got to use what I got.
Yeah.
And then my initial idea anyway was to wait for the next iteration anyway and do that. But fuck knows when that's gonna happen the way things are. So regardless, Valve is in the same boat.
Welcome to 2030.
Right. I mean, they've got to produce this hardware. And the shells that they come in, and if the shell,
I mean, my dog, it's 2026.
Yeah.
Like 2030 is not unrealistic.
No, it isn't. So the fact that they're looking at supply chain issues for getting it was bad enough with the RAM. Now they have to worry about getting the case for the fucking thing out there. I mean, it's got to be a waking nightmare for them. So at the very least, it's going to increase the cost dramatically for what it would cost, and it was already going to be more than what people want it to be.
Yeah.
So
whatever the Steam machine, Steam frame, and Steam controller end up being, I mean, the Steam controller may come through relatively unscathed because there's no RAM in it, but whatever that stuff ends up being, it's going to be more than people want, and this is really unfortunate because this was. Up until now, this was a really opportune moment to strike for that shit. And now, of course, that this could have thrown a monkey wrench into this whole fucking thing.
The general timing was great, and then everything else
fell apart. So yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. And I didn't put it in the show notes, but a side element of this is, of course, Microsoft saying, no, we are totally making new hardware, guys. It's called Project Helix. And everyone
apparently
went,
okay. there are dev kits that are going out.
It'll happen. But I mean, come on. This is
what even is that?
This is clearly we already have too much R&D spent on this to not release it.
Yeah.
But it'll probably end up at like Ally X numbers. I don't think they're expecting to sell 50 million units of whatever Helix becomes. But at the very least, it is what everybody assumed it would be. It is going to be a PC. It's going to be a Steam machine. Yeah. It's basically the same idea. It'll run Windows. It'll run all your Windows games, and also they threw the woman under the bus that they also fired when they got rid of Phil. She was the one that was responsible for the Everything is an Xbox campaign, which so many people hated. And they went, it's her fault. We fired her. She's gone, so we're going to get away from that.
It was a very bad idea. But
it was also...
I'm sure you didn't have a choice.
It was mandated heavily by Microsoft. They
want
this is the what they wanted people to believe. And then when it failed, they went, that was her idea. And she's gone. So we're just going to not mention the fact that everything could be an Xbox. But I don't think many people are expecting Project Helix to be viable. I don't know what they think it's going to be power-wise. I don't know. Obviously, it's going to be more powerful than a Steam machine, but could Microsoft release a $1,000 fucking console?
I mean, who isn't going to release at least $1,000 console in the next generation? That's the question, right? Like
even Sony's pushing it a couple of years now. They were obviously pushing for a PS6 in the next 2 years, and as you said, probably 2030.
At the moment, who knows? Like that, everything is up in the air.
It's fine.
It really
the hardware that's out there is very solid. And another side note, a thing that I didn't put in. We talked, I think, about PSSR2 last time.
Yes, Pisser.
And that's coming, and that's going to be a big deal. And this comes back to it. So, these we hated them when they started announcing any of these frame generation techniques were initially poo-pooed by people like myself. And
to a degree, that's justified.
Right, and especially in the early iterations. They were rushing it, and it did bad things to the visuals. in the name of extra frames, and it was not great, but they kept working on it. And I think it's because they recognized how important it was for the coming generations, because the scalability was falling away, like the cost for making more powerful hardware, and they finally went, why don't we just make things run better on less? And yet another story that's really come up this week is how AMD has fucked themselves with FSSR, which is great, except they refuse to release the new version of FSSR on the older hardware.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 6900.
Although, you know where you can get it on the older hardware? Linux.
And I mean, the fact that they have basically said, yeah, no. Meanwhile, NVIDIA, they're not supposed to be the good guys in these stories anymore.
Oh, trust me, they're not.
But the fact that DLSS 4 or whatever, it runs on the older versions of the hardware, and it doesn't do nearly as well, obviously. But meanwhile, AMD's trying to go, no, we'd like you to focus on the new hardware, guys. It is cheaper than what NVIDIA is offering, but not by much at this stage. And it's very frustrating when you've got existing solid hardware that should be able to easily do this, and we have to be honest, it's much better now. And what they're offering with PSSR 2 and these new iterations of DLSS, they are very good, and when you are playing the game, you are not going to notice it. We can move it up a little bit. I just mentioned how Resident Evil 9, there was an article that I linked here about how it plays on the Switch 2, and it's fine. But the reality is it's playing at like 600p, which is low.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not a regular viewer of Digital Foundry or in that mindset, if you're sitting down and playing it, especially in the handheld mode, you aren't really going to register because of the fact that they're using the FSSR, because it's an AMD processor on that one. So they're using these technologies to make those low resolutions look notably better.
I have huge sympathy for Gamers Nexus and their current trajectory, because I think it's extremely healthy and good. But they're also one of the stronger voices for like pushing for no fake frames, right? And I absolutely agree, but that you kind of shoot yourself in the foot in the case of like taking an absolute stance like that, because then all of your older hardware becomes useless, right? So I think that you need to take a measured response to that thing. Here is an example. And I know that it's going to surprise people, but yes, there are some uses for large language models. Here's an example of one where LLMs, a quote unquote AI, is actually useful, and it is in these frame generation technologies. So,
and they're doing a good job of it.
But they do introduce control latency. That is a problem, and it is kind of an unsolvable problem.
But it is not really. I mean, they're doing much better.
They're way better than they used to be. But it is still like, if you're at the competitive level, you do not want like any latency, like zero. Like these are people who tune their fucking keyboards, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That's
and those people. And again, these are the upper echelon. These are the 1%. These are extreme cases. Everybody else is going to be just fine with these things. So the fact that you can play Resident Evil 9 on the Switch 2, and initially I was under the impression that all of those were going to be just streaming, like cloud streaming.
Sure.
But they're not. They're actually on board on the hardware, and they play, and they're fine, because if you're not playing next to the PS5 Pro version, which absolutely looks better, unquestionably, especially on a nice display, you're going to have a better experience on that. However, at the core of it, when you're in the shit and you're killing zombies and your handheld, it's going to be just fine. So it is an important part of the conversation. So the fact that, if Microsoft were to produce lower spec hardware, but with more of an eye on this frame generation technology to improve the performance.
I am all in favor of using existing hardware smarter. That is what it kind of feels like, and I think that's a good idea.
So we are in interesting moments, and the bullshit with video cards and RAM is forcing them to do more with less, and that's been an important thing for millennia. I mean, being forced into a restricted environment makes for better work.
We both know this from filmmaking.
Yeah.
If you can do anything you want, you end up making something mediocre.
Yeah.
You need to be forced into a tight spot where you can't do certain things. Therefore, you are forced to be creative
and find new ways to do things that are better. So yeah, it's they're being forced into it, and it's a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking of new things that are better, question mark.
So somebody got
a Switch too.
So
it wasn't me.
No, and it wasn't me. It was actually my roommate. So it was Pocopia. I railed last time about Pocopia and the $99.99 that they want for this fucking game, which shouldn't cost more than $50-$60. But it got its hooks into him. Just the idea of it was insanely compelling.
It looks like a fun game. It was going to be you.
No,
I thought that was a joke.
No, I had to put "not me" on there for a reason. No, because
I thought the reason was haha.
The hardware. What's funny is I think he was probably going to get it anyway, but it just so happened to show up on Video Game Deals Canada on Reddit that there was a Staples coupon for $100 off a $500 purchase, and it applied to the consoles. Now, a lot of people were saying that their orders were canceled, but in the day after that post came out, he went on the website, he did a pickup order, he went to Staples, and they handed him a Switch 2. So bingo bango, he saved $100 on the hardware, and that puts it into a much more reasonable space. And then he spent that $100 on fucking Pocopia, and it looks like he's having a blast with it. He's having a lot of fun with it. He loves that world. It's such a creepy game, though. Just the whole, it's a world where humans are gone. So I don't know if they come back at some point, because they're kind of suggesting that, if we make this place better, maybe the humans will return, or maybe they're gone forever. And it's a very interesting game, and the Pokemon world is fascinating. And I think it might have actually been the creepy ghost Pikachu that was revealed. Like it's like a ghostly white Pikachu. I don't know if it's trained or something. They've had similar ones. There's a Pikachu.
Shout
knockoff.
out Goth Pikachu.
There's a knockoff Pikachu called Mimikyu, which is a really creepy. It's a Pokemon that's trying to be Pikachu, and it looks really evil, but it's still kind of cute. So it's kind of a derivation of that. Anyway, he's having a lot of fun with it, and that's great. And he's got the scratch. He can afford to drop the money on a console in the game. I don't think he's going to buy a lot of other titles for it. He'll probably end up picking up the other Pokemon titles. Like I don't think he played Sword and Shield heavily, but it's there.
You know what is coming out on the Switch 2 soon?
What's that?
Warframe.
Is it not on Switch 2? The Switch native version.
There is a Switch native version,
right? But a Switch 2 upgrade
with the enhancements for the Switch 2.
All right, that makes sense. So yeah, it's I don't see him going out and buying all the other titles, especially for $99.99. Some of them are more than that. The Switch 2 native version of the fucking Zelda games are $110 for a game that's now 7 or 8 years old. It's fucking amazing.
You don't expect us to make new games, do you?
God damn. So yeah, so that's that. And I do not see me buying one, especially since I haven't been playing what I got.
But apparently Resident Evil 9
I mentioned that already.
So yeah.
Like the fact it's not cheaper. Like you would kind of expect it to be a little bit cheaper. Oh, the other thing about Pocopia is because it's Pokemon, the collectors want it. So they want the hard copy. And so the hard copy, they're charging extra for it now on Amazon because the demand is so high. So they're actually I think it's $80 American if you want to buy the fucking actual cartridge version. If you're a collector. Again, there's just no other reason for it, but so, if you were to put a copy of Pikmin or a Pocopia on a cartridge and a Switch 2 in a box and then seal it and then open it in 200 years. I don't know if it'll still work in terms of will it have to talk to the internet to turn itself on.
What we need then are video game preservationists.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So anyway, it's just a strange new world.
Yep. Speaking of strange things, I don't even know where to go with this one. So nobody can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, quite like Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been following the stuff with Diablo?
I downloaded the new season. I started playing it.
Okay, how are you feeling about it?
I mean, the butcher stuff seems amusing. It's kind of fun to become the butcher and do your little spiel. And
so it turns out we were both right in that yes, it is a new season, and yes, there is a new season when the expansion drops next month. This is a very short season.
Oh,
This is a 7-week season.
Oh, damn.
That's it. So that's kind of one of the reasons why this is so kind of gimmicky and silly and
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, that's fine. I mean, because again, it is a goof where you turn into the butcher.
Yeah.
Fresh meat. You know, that's classic Diablo.
So I unfortunately I have been tuned into the subreddit on Diablo.
And I'm guessing they mad.
They ain't not happy about what's been so. Diablo 4 has been enjoying a period of good vibes, shall we say?
Yeah, more or less.
Until now, this season is not well received for various reasons. One of which is apparently it's extremely buggy. Like that's
not good.
There is a lot of shit that just straight up don't work or is broken or
unacceptable.
It ain't good. The other thing that people are really kind of losing their minds about, and I'm partly sympathetic to this, is that so one of the things about this season is that there's a tie-in with Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yes.
If you wanted all of the stuff that is the tie-in for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's like $125 or something.
Sure, cosmetics.
Stupid, yeah. Like what the fuck? You can literally buy Doom: The Dark Ages the game for less money than it would take to get the skins and the pet and the shit.
It's bullshit that they still separate all the class armors.
Yeah.
Like it should just be the set. Like it should look different for each class, but you shouldn't have to unlock it for every class.
It should just be
That's
this
bullshit.
armor. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean the battle pass for the normal season does unlock every class. If you pay for the battle pass and you get the extended and you unlock the reliquaries, and it's only $10, and I'm fine with that. But knowing that it's going to only be a month and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, there's a good chance I'm not going to complete it.
Do not get invested.
No, yeah,
and my advice.
Because the Doom element has like a 45-day window, which I guess is the season. So that's interesting. I just assumed that because when they did this before for a crossover with Berserk, the anime, that was in a similar vein. That was over before the season, because it was a tight window, and that's fine. But the fact that the whole season is like that, Jesus. I mean, I was actually looking at the cosmetics just because, let me see what they designed. And they look delightful. There's a fucking cacodemon pet.
This was the thing.
I love it.
As a first generation Doom player who had one of my formative games was Doom, I looked at the cacodemon pet and went, fuck yeah.
Yep.
But for 2,800 platinum,
it's $25, $30.
Fuck that.
No, exactly.
For a pet that does it picks up gold.
It does the same
you?
shit every other pet does.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, no.
That's lovely. I would like the opportunity to earn it in game, and there is a pet. I think because there's a separate reliquary.
There's another reliquary where it's the goat pet, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and I like
they know where the money is, and I respect that. You have to have a vector where you're going to make money off the cosmetics.
So part of me has sympathy for the developers, but only because I'm aware of what's going on inside Microsoft.
Well, that fucking story you probably read about where the guy that used to work for Overwatch can finally talk about some of
Jeff
it.
Kaplan.
Yeah, where he said how they told him straight up, if you don't reach the numbers we expect for Overwatch, we're going to fire 1,000 people and blame you for it.
Yeah.
They said that to his fucking face, to a guy who had been a loyal company guy for a decade or so at that point, to tell that to his face. Jesus. And all he wouldn't say was who exactly said it, Bobby Kotick, but he couldn't identify because of his NDA.
Yeah.
But holy shit.
Oh yeah,
But that's the scale of these cons.
We have heard for a long time about the unrealistic expectations that Xbox sets for their target numbers.
Yeah.
And it's just going up and up and up and crazier and crazier.
Because they invested too much money in it.
Exactly.
Like Sony paid $3 billion for Bungie.
So I'm absolutely not blaming the developers for setting these insane prices.
No.
I'm the fuck not gonna pay it.
And that is the only correct thing is to not pay these for this shit.
So the TLDR is I'm kind of just sitting out this season.
Oh, yeah?
I was really invested in getting back into Diablo 4, and I'm like,
did you finish last season?
No.
Oh, it's too bad.
But this is my other point, and I did talk about this a little bit last time, was that Warframe has spoiled me in that because of the investment mentality of Warframe, wherein you're always working towards something, the disposable nature of the seasonal characters in Warframe, and so yes, there's the Eternal Realm. I can tell you, so there's a specific subreddit for Eternal Realm players. They ain't happy with this shit because like now, of course, everything's changing. There's going to be a whole new system. All of the gear for the Eternal Realm consistently gets like sunsetted and is now useless.
Yeah.
So you have to like respec and re-gear and redo absolutely everything. So there is no point in playing in the Eternal Realm, and of course that's by design.
Yeah.
They don't want anybody to play in the Eternal Realm because there's no money to be made if you play in the Eternal Realm. The money is to be made with the season pass and the battle passes and the seasonal stuff. That's where the dollars come in.
And as we've said many, many times with Diablo, the insane thing about the cosmetics is you can't fucking see them.
Your character is 17 pixels high.
It's insane.
What the fuck?
The only way you can see somebody's drip is if you click on them and look at their profile and go, oh shit, that's a nice outfit. There's almost nothing you can see, of course, except for the giant fucking wings, which you can get when you spend $100 on shit.
Sure.
Like, yeah, that looks interesting on the map, but you know, and that's obviously by design.
That's the second of dopamine, right? That's
yeah.
whatever.
Oh my god.
Like,
and you know, and people are stepping back. They're saying, you know what, this is fine. I don't need that. You know, I am fine with throwing $10 at them for a season.
Oh yeah,
for cosmetic shit.
I firmly believe that developers should be paid for their work.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, but there is a point past which it's about what you get for what you pay, right? That is what it comes down to, and it ain't there. So this season's not being well received.
No, and I'm not surprised. I haven't gotten into it. I'm still going to try to rip through it. I guess now I have to move a lot quicker. But this ties into the other thing I just threw in here, just because it is news. Epic's increasing the cost of V-Bucks for Fortnite.
Oh no!
Which is it's a big deal because I don't think they've changed it very much.
Right.
But what they've basically done is kept the pricing the same. You just get less V-Bucks for it. But then they've also done things like, so the battle pass for the season is 800 V-Bucks, and I think they actually reduced the price from 1,000 to 800, which is still how many it costs to get a season anyway. So it's still $8.99 to unlock the battle pass for the season, which seems again reasonable. I'm happy to pay it for Diablo. I'm sure Fortnite is reasonable for that. Obviously, for the crazy cosmetics, you have to pay a lot more.
Yeah,
and this also ties into Marathon, the new Bungie game.
Yes.
Just as a side note, I'm not playing it, but I've been very interested in it, and it sounds like
it's got good buzz. It's got
people are enjoying the loop.
It seems like things are good over on
It is.
Marathon Land.
It is not as much of a punch to the dick as something like Escape from Tarkov. Yes, you can lose everything, but that makes the game more exciting, to be honest. And it is for a certain type of gamer that has to be willing to throw in for that.
Are you a sweat lord?
It gets very sweaty, but it's also, again, the aesthetics are very cool. They're building towards new content that's coming up at the end of the month that people are excited about.
I almost feel like this seems a bit like Overwatch when it launched. It's got like I played a lot of Overwatch when it launched, not because I'm interested in that kind of game, because I'm really not. But I loved the world and the aesthetics so much that I'm like, I will play this to experience that despite the actual gameplay.
So to tie it into the microtransactions, initially they were bullshit because it was for the costume, it was like 1,120 currency to get that costume, and when you bought chunks of currency, it was you got like 1,100 or 1,000 or something like that,
right? Yeah,
which is bullshit.
Good old dark patterns.
Yes, very much so. And it was, and everybody said you can do better than this, and they went, you know what, you're right, we shouldn't do that, and they made it. They adjusted this to the system, so now to get the thing, it costs the right amount. They just streamlined it and just said, we're not going to make you buy a second bundle of currency to be able to buy an item.
That's kind of wild, actually, because that is always the scheme, right? You always put it just at the just below or beyond the threshold of the thing you need.
And people were by and large inured to that. They accepted that this is just how it was going to be, and then they realized this would be an excellent goodwill gesture, especially on launch for a major title that they want to last for a very long time.
Also considering how Destiny 2 is gone.
Oh yeah, like, we're not talking about Destiny 2.
Yo, bro, we need a win.
Yeah, and it has. I have been very happy to see the core audience come to it and say, I am willing to play this on the level it is. Actually, this is interesting, because it is not an easy game. It is difficult. You will play and you will die. And the streamers are very open about this. I mean, obviously they're better at it because they're just professional gamers, but there is a curve, and the game wants you to understand that. And they don't immediately throw you into games with the sweats. That you will start the game in the outskirts where you can do things with your 3-man crew and get things and build up your XP to increase your character, learn some lore, and then as you get better, you go deeper into the map, which is where you're going to come across other players. And there has been some amazing gameplay coming out of this, like just some evil shit, but also some amazing shit. One of the elements of it is that, so you have a 3-man team. There's 3 different classes that you run as. Thief, basically a thief, a sniper, and a tank. But there's a fourth class.
A thief, a sniper?
Yeah, the thief and the sniper are separate.
Okay.
Like assassin is the other class. Thief, right. Assassin, and the destructor or whatever is the third one.
Fuck you! You're talking my language, because I like both of those things.
There's a fourth class called Rook.
I can't play it. I'm on Linux. I literally cannot play this game.
But what's fascinating is that they created a fourth class called Rook, designed for solo play, where you basically will go into these three player matches where other teams are playing.
Rook.
Yeah, but then what they can do is they can camouflage themselves as NPCs in the game, like the USMC, and so they don't get attacked by the PvE elements, and then they can just kind of hang out and scavenge more or less, but it's a whole other element of gameplay for it, and it's a very different vibe for solo. You can't join the factions with that, which is a big part of the game, but it's a whole other way to play the game. And it's led to some amazing footage as well, where people are, they can go invisible as well as cloak themselves as PvE. And so players will go up and they're lost in their shit, and they're looting, and then the Rook will sneak up and you die and your neighbor dies because he's not paying attention. Like, the audio is a big part of the game because you can hear shit happening and you have to recognize, fuck, what's happening? Oh shit, there's a Rook here, bang bang, and you'll die because you're a Rook. But if you play correctly, you're rewarded for your devious nature. And then the thief this is the last thing I'm going to say. The thief has a drone that they can control, so they can throw the drone out, and the drone you take over the drone, and then you'll hear it, but it's kind of a thing. You don't necessarily, if you're busy, you don't hear it. And what it does is it has like tentacles, and it'll steal shit from you. So you'll see a pop-up as it's happening, but if you're in the middle of something, you're not going to notice that you're also dropping shit. And you can drop top tier shit if you're not paying attention, stuff that you're expecting to exfil at the end of the level, and then you'll realize what the fuck happened. And then if you hear it, you can shoot the drone. But the video is amazing where the thief grabs a gold item, which is the top tier item, and the drone grabs it, and the guy realizes what's happening, but then by that point the drone has actually taken the item, and he zipped to the other side of the map where the thief is, and they're going to nerf the shit out of it. But it does make for some great gameplay. But again, it would suck ass. Like you're on cloud 9 because you found a gold item, and you're finally going to move up in the game, and then you realize that you just got punked. So it's a fascinating. There's a lot of elements to it, and it looks like it's not going to disappear. It's not going to be Concord 3.
It's got good buzz. It really does. So
I again, I'm not going to play it initially, at least, but I'm very surprised at how people have definitely taken to it, and it does have a fascinating.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, holy shit, the marketing for it has been incredible. They got Harmony Korine, the filmmaker who did Spring Breakers and Kids and Gummo. He directed a piece for it, like a not live action, but like an animated story with music by Poppy, the crazy metal singer, metal/pop singer. And it's amazing, but it also tells a story that sets up the next element of the game. They have made some incredible cinematics for it, and it really makes you want to see more. I want to see a series set in this thing that explains the actual story. And I really hope that they spend the money on it, because so far it looks phenomenal. So yeah, I'm very pleased with where that's going. But I myself am not playing, and that's fine. And again, that's what's great about gaming. You don't have to play everything. You can even just watch people play. I mean, at this stage, I can totally just watch Aztecross play fucking Marathon for a little while and appreciate the style and appreciate what's happening, and say, wow, I'm not going to do that, but I'm happy to watch him play it.
All right. So Crimson Desert apparently is good.
So
actually,
I think I've mentioned it before. It looks impossible. This is an RPG, action RPG, that is derived from Pearl Abyss. Is that the company?
Pearl Abyss.
The game? Yeah,
that is it.
So this is basically a single player game using that engine
in the Black Desert universe,
and
which I have played on stream as Frankie.
Did you enjoy it?
It's enjoys a hard sell. It's interesting. It does some interesting things. Ultimately, the exceptionally anime-ness of it really rubbed me the wrong way.
It's very Korean.
It is very Korean.
Yeah,
yes.
And if you've played Korean games, you know what we mean. We're not being racist here. We're just calling it like it is. Lineage is the baseline Korean RPG. But yeah, it's
not. The thing is, it isn't like a cultural thing. It is straight up for me. For me particularly, the anime style just puts me off.
Well, and it's not. This is more realistic than anime. It's not. It's not like a Genshin Impact or something like that. But it's a big swing, and people are here for it, which is surprising.
It seems like it's got too much hype.
It does, and they're promising a lot, but it's starting to seem like it may actually deliver on that. It's a stunning game. Visually, it's really fucking amazing, and I don't think it's going to be as punishing as a Dark Souls. And it seems to be a very large game with a lot going on. And the initial buzz has been very positive, which is surprising. But this is another title where the visuals are a big draw, and this is very punishing. And the requirements that were coming out, the console breakdown, I'm not going to get into the reads on it, but they broke down the difference between performance mode and quality mode on all of the main consoles. And you can play it on Xbox Series S. It is an option.
Yeah,
it's gonna literally run at 720, but I think they still said it will run at 60. maybe 40, maybe I don't 30 at the very least, but
Yeah.
it will be playable on the Xbox Series S. But also obviously even on PS5,
God, who even remembers the Series S? Good
it's
Lord.
still out there. They have enough of an install base
exists.
to justify continuing to support it.
Here's a thing that exists.
Yeah, but the PS5 Pro is the target at this point, and even that one, the 4K version only runs at 30. Fine, whatever. The PSSR2 version obviously is going to be a big driving idea for it, because it's this is a game that will definitely benefit from that.
It's single player, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea of having that be a target and a scaled up version that can run at a lower resolution but still give you 60 FPS in a ray traced environment and look incredible, that's a big draw. Now, did they fuck up? Yes, they did. After having all these amazing Digital Foundry guys breaking it down and showing how great it is and how it's going to look, this week they said, oh, by the way, we're adding de novo.
Oh, right, yeah. So, I mean, being in the Linux world, of course, everyone was excited until then, because de novo's problem on Linux.
So it's almost not going to run on a Steam Deck, at least initially.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that's a big negative, and that's going to cost them a lot of sales, honestly. I don't know why they had to go with de novo. They took de novo off of, I think, the Resident Evil 4 remake.
There was
this
something
week,
that went, yeah.
which is funny that that gets pulled off. They recognize that it's poison. Like it does affect it.
And it's not just other operating systems. It has a performance impact.
Yeah.
Like it straight
And for
up
a
makes
game-
your frames less.
For a game that needs to be silky smooth, for them to have implemented one of the more aggressive forms of
Yeah,
of
and it's
DRM.
so stupid. Like
Sucks.
it's not going to stop anybody.
So
You're not.
The question was, did you give Digital Foundry the de novo version or the pre-de novo version?
Yeah.
They have said they had the proper version. They did have the version with the de
the
novo.
version that it will be in the hands of the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Supposedly that's not an issue. And they will be 100% on top of that. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
If they lied, everybody will know about it very quickly. So so that kind of sucks. Yeah, so that was a kick in the nuts for a fair number of people. But this is probably a game that's better experienced on a big screen anyway.
Sure.
So, you know, but it does kind of suck that they've said, yeah, no, you got to.
Yeah, well, no, this is completely like not a thing for me now, because I only have PCs and they only run Linux, therefore.
And I'm absolutely certain that in a few months or sooner they'll have a version that will be, once they've sold X number of copies, then they will quietly pull the de novo. Having said that, it was just announced a few minutes ago that they cracked a de novo that ironically was Doom the Dark Ages, which a 2025 release with de novo has been cracked. So it is not invincible. So they could still have a pirated version available. So you could buy it in Yard and still play it on your Steam Deck.
Nothing is sacred.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So anyway, that's it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah.
Don't pre-order it. Don't pre-order it. Don't pre-order it. Oh, that was the other thing. The physical copy still requires a fucking internet connection, because fuck you.
That's been the way for a long time.
It just fucking sucks that it requires a digital connection. You have to, obviously have to have the disc in the machine to play it. But guess what? Also, you have to do on day one is download a 48 gigabyte patch, which is the game. You're downloading the game.
You are fighting an old war, my friend.
No, it is just funny. It's just the fact that once you have downloaded it, you require an internet connection to play it, even though it's a single player game, which is bullshit.
That ship sailed a long time ago.
It just sucks that they do require you to still have an internet connection to play this.
This is my point. Like if like, the original developers on the Nintendo or the Atari or anything had the internet and had the ability to do, you would still be downloading a day one patch for Atari Adventure.
Yep.
Like absolutely you would. It's just that infrastructure didn't exist at the time.
Right.
So
that's fair. Anyway.
So
it's still worth looking into, but
yeah,
don't pre-order it.
I will follow it with interest because I have actually played Black Desert. But I literally can't play Crimson Desert, although I am mildly interested. just because I'm on Linux.
People
So-
have been getting their hands already on the hard copy, which is worthless because it needs an internet connection and it won't let you download it until the day it comes out. So fuck you. But you got it early, Chief.
So we've already talked about the Fortnite price raises. Next on the list, Marvel Heroes. Remember Marvel Heroes?
I do.
You know, so the server emulation project is nearing a 1.0 release. It will be done very soon, like in a number of weeks.
Excellent.
The main project that is attached, I believe, I don't know for sure, but I'm almost certain that one of the developers on the Marvel Heroes server emulator is also a developer on this Project Tahiti, which is like kind of the main. There's two. There's Council of Ancients and Project Tahiti.
It's a magical place.
Are the two big places where you want to go for the Marvel Heroes user groups. Project Tahiti is gearing up for the 1.0 release of the Marvel Heroes server emulator, which will mean a complete server wipe.
Yeah.
But and I am so impressed with how professional they're being about all of this. So one of the things they're doing is a stress test this weekend. This is not the 1.0 patch, obviously. This is still the same patch, but they have new server infrastructure and they have a new sign-up process. So this weekend, as we speak, they are doing a stress test. They want as many people as possible to sign up and play on their server.
I like what they called it for Marathon. I don't know if they came up with the term.
Server Slam.
Server Slam.
Yeah. So, yes, Project Tahiti is doing a Server Slam this weekend. I have included a link in the show notes. By all means, if you have the ability to play Marvel Heroes Omega, please go and help these folks.
But whatever you do, you won't be able to carry over.
No, so any character you play now will not be carried over into the 1.0 release. There's going to be a complete player wipe. Everything is going to be gone.
It's still nice to just fire it up and go, oh, okay.
This is a stress test.
Yeah.
That's all this is. They're gauging the level of how their hardware is going to handle when the actual 1.0 release.
When it first got announced, I did download it and it did play it a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's fun. I'm not going to get into it now because it's just going to die. So,
well, exactly. I haven't played it in like a couple of weeks just because exactly. And when I will absolutely go hard on it when 1.0 releases, but the good news is that's a couple of weeks away. We're really close to 1.0 release.
And this is just an excuse to fire it up and just you're giving them what they want because they want to push the servers, and just fire it up and get familiar with it.
I'll be in there. By all means, get in there, get your shit on. Get
it's a little overwhelming in that they give you everybody right off the bat. That was my only issue.
That was the case for the current build.
Right.
For the 1.0 build, that's not the case.
Oh, okay.
You will have to earn them. You will have your standard, like your one character that you will get for free unlock, and then the rest you will have to earn through not, of course, money, because there's no money involved anymore. It will be the Eternity Shards that drop. You will pay those. You will go to the shop. You will unlock the things.
I never did finish the story of Avengers.
I mean, I'm sure I did. I couldn't tell you what it is. What the fuck? What story? Who cares?
I know the lady becomes God. That's all I remember.
Sure, the lady becomes God. Therefore,
and you got to kill God.
The Avengers. Okay, so that's happening right now. Please help out Project Tahiti. Server Slam happening this weekend. Go and do your thing. Okay. Last thing. We've saved a good thing for the last, as always. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the Warframe check-in.
Wait, Warframe?
Warframe, huh?
We're going to talk about Warframe?
Somebody turned 13 this week, and it's Warframe. 13 years ago this week, a little old game called Warframe launched. They're doing the 13-year anniversary event this weekend, and it's going to last, I think, for a couple of weeks. There's going to be there's some special events that are going on that you will get rewards for. again, it's Digital Extremes. They don't do anything small. So what they do for every anniversary is there's a new thing. They're all cosmetics usually, or there's also like infrastructure stuff, and like there's some resources and things you need to build other things.
And the kill everyone button.
There's there's stuff you need in the game, but the stuff that you want that is kind of hard to farm for that they just give you for free. So this year there's a couple of cosmetics. But what they do for the anniversaries is for every anniversary, the events that happen, all of the rewards for the previous anniversaries also become available. So like for the last 12 years, like all of this shit that has been available for the anniversary will become available for you if you do not already have it.
One of the biggest issues with Destiny was the vault, because your vault was capped and the amount of shit you could hold. I'm guessing that's less of an issue, if not an issue at all.
Shall I tell you about how vaultedness works in Warframe?
I'm just saying, in terms of holding your shit, you don't have to worry about having to delete half your crap just because.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's good.
And the only comparable thing is primes.
Right.
So prime warframes, prime weapons, which are slightly better than the regular version of warframes and weapons, but aren't so much better that they're hugely different. They've got different cosmetics. Their stats are slightly better, but The standard process is that when you get a prime version of a thing, you sacrifice the standard version of the thing for either resources or into the helmet system, which is a whole other thing, but we don't need to get into that. But what happens is that primed versions of things will go into the vault occasionally, but they will always be back.
Right.
Always. And they cycle out throughout the year. Different, like it's called
once you've earned it, you can use it anytime.
Exactly. Prime resurgence is a regular thing that happens. So throughout the year, different primes will come back in prime resurgence, so you can farm the relics to get the thing, to get the parts, to build the thing. There's nothing that is locked forever away.
Any live service game needs to have that. They need to, just any moment there should be a focus on a small percentage of the game that you can go hard on, but eventually you're going to have a chance to get the other shit too.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time.
There's
plenty to do.
This is one of the things that Warframe has so spoiled me for other games, as I talked about before, because there is a philosophy that underlies all of Warframe in that it is about investment. It is about building towards a thing over a long period of time. And I really respect that, right? Like, it feels good. It feels like I never, ever log into Warframe, play for a bit, and feel like I've wasted my time, right? I'm always building, even if it's a little bit, I'm always building towards something.
Right.
And that feels really good. It feels like it respects me and it respects my time.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, that's going on right now. What else did I have here in the notes? Oh, yes, right. I made another Warframe video.
Of course.
Since the past 2 weeks, it's been the last podcast, there was another 5-minute meditations on Warframe. Wow, that's hard to say when you've had a couple of drinks. That is up on both the PeerTube and the YouTube servers.
I watched it and liked it.
It's I'm enjoying making them. I want to make more. I certainly want to make more before TennoCon, because nothing would please me more than going to TennoCon and having somebody go, "Hey, you're that guy."
That would be amazing.
I don't think it's going to happen. They're not getting a lot of views, to be honest, but
I mean, all you can do is
we'll see.
Make them and hope that people come to you.
But anyway, so that's what's going on. Happy 13th to Warframe. I, more and more every day, as many games come out and as many other things are interesting and that I play, I am more and more thankful every goddamn day that I discovered Warframe and that it hooked me and that I got it, because this is such an affirming and positive and healthy thing that I'm just thankful that it's in a part of my life that I can experience.
In a world with so many things that are not, It's such a relief to have a game like
it's
this.
weird
A community like this.
to put that much weight on it, but it actually kind of is.
It just reminds you that there's good out there, and it feels like the good is rising in a lot of these titles. In a lot of these communities, people are really embracing the positive. Even like I said, Marathon, the community fought back against the bullshit posters. Oh, it's Concord 3.0, and like the legit people said no.
Yeah,
let's let them cook.
Let them cook is a really good philosophy. I mean, there's a moment in the Dad Gamer Dad documentary that is titled "We All Lift."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that moment when the title came up, I fucking welled up because there's such an emotional attachment to that moment in the game.
Absolutely.
That is like that shit. That's the real shit right there. So
and when a game can have those moments, that's when they truly transcend.
It really is. All right, there we go. I think that'll probably do it for us. Look, we're almost exactly at time.
Good.
That's wild. Okay. I think the next 2 weeks we're probably going to be weird.
I am gone 2 weeks from now. I will be on a boat.
We're gonna be thinking about things. I might either do a solo or I might try and maybe we'll get a guest.
You got people.
We're gonna be talking to some people. Yeah. We're seeing some things.
I will not be offended because I'm going to be on a boat.
You enjoy your boat.
Oh, man.
We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Anyway, if you've made it this far, you are, of course, a champion and I don't know, puppet hero. I don't know. Yes. I got nothing. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you, Andrew.
Not at all. Buy a purple monkey. Order another. Make him make you your own purple monkey.
Look, you want purple monkeys? We have a way of making purple monkeys happen. Anyway, OperationPuppet.com for all of the links. Thank you all, and we will catch you next time. You have been listening to Pixels and Puppets, the Operation Puppet podcast. Visit www.operationpuppet.com for all our links. Tell your friends, give us a rating wherever you get your podcasts, and join us again because nothing is more entertaining than aging nerds giving their opinions on the internet.